Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is an English summary, just a translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Qamaruzzaman Sahab Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Friday, the 24th of December 2021, the Islamic date being the 19th of Jumadul Ula 1443. Hazrat Wala starts off by quoting the ayat of the Quran Majid, يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. And another ayat, يريد الله أن يخفف عنكم وخلق الإنسان ضعيفا. Thereafter, Hazrat Wala speaks about the incident of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, quoting from the kitab of Shaykh Ibn Ata Iskandari rahimahullah. So he goes on to say that Musa alayhi salatu wassalam done whatever he had to do but did not ask for anything in reward. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him the most perfect reward, and he hastened for him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hastened for Musa alayhi salatu wassalam in this dunya much and tremendously, that's besides what he had kept for him in the akhirat. Meaning, in this dunya already Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with one of the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam, making him the son-in-law of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wassalam. وَآنَسَهُ bihi, and he made him acquainted to him as well, until such a time Allah Ta'ala even gave him nubuwat and risalat. فَلَا تَجْعَلْ مُعَامَلَتَكَ إِلَّا مَعَ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى أَيُّهَا الْعَبْدِ. Therefore, O servant, do not place your matter with anyone aside from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if you do that, takum min ar-rabihin, you will become from those who triumph, those who come out with a great profit. وَيُكْرِمُكَ بِمَا أَكْرَمَ بِهِ الْعِبَادَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will then honor you like how He honors His fearing servants. So this tariq and this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is simple. We need to keep this ta'aleem in front of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, undur ila qawlihi subhanahu wa ta'ala. After mentioning this as an introduction, the author says, look at the ayat of the Quran Majid where Allah ta'ala says, فَسَقَى لَهُمَا, He gave to drink for the two of them, ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ, thereafter he turned towards the shade. فَفِي ذَلِكَ دَلِيلٌ, in this particular ayah we understand, and is substantiation, is a proof, عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ يَجُوزُ, that it is perfectly permissible لِلْمُؤْمِن, for the believer, أَن يُؤْثِرَ الظِّلَالِ عَلَى الدَّوَاحِ, that he gives preference to the shade over the sun, وَبَارِدَ الْمَاءِ عَلَى سَخَنِهِ, and he gives preference to cold water over warm water, وَأَسْهَلَ الطَّرِيقَيْنِ عَلى أَشَقِّهِمَا وَأَوْعَرِهِمَا, and that he gives preference to the easier of the two paths over the more difficult one of the two. وَلَا يُخْرِجُهُ ذَلِكَ عَنْ مَقَامِ الزُّهُدِ. Now all of this, opting for the easier path, for the shade and for the cold water and for the easier path, this is not against the station and the grain of zuhud and abstinence. أَلَا تَرَى, do you not see, can you not understand, أَنَّ الْحَقَّ سُبْحَانَهُ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us about Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, that تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ, يعني قَصَدَهُ وَجَاءَ إِلَيْهِ, he intended the shade and he went towards the shade. Now if you come about and you relate to us some of the incidents of the people of the past, that they were found in the sun. His earthen pot that had water was in the sun, the earthen pot that he used to drink water from. Then it is said to him about this here, and then he answers, listen, when I placed it there, and when I put it there, there was no sun there at that time. And presently, I actually feel ashamed to take it out of the sun and put it into the shade, because there would be a portion or a share for my nafs. to enjoy in that. So I do not want to do that. Fa'lam rahimakallah. So understand well, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on you, that أن هذا حال عبد يطلب الصدق من نفسه ويمنعها مناها. That this particular incident that we have spoken about, this is the spiritual state of one who is seeking the truth for himself and stopping it from its desires, so that its desires, the desires of the nafs, may become involved in it and make him negligent from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if this person's maqam and his hal had been perfected, then he would have taken out the water from the sun and put it into the shade. Why? Because there would have been no challenge and trial for this person in there. And also so that he could stand up with the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he has showed a person that you need to stipulate these certain or have these rights for yourself. Now the tariq, Hazrat Wala quoting all of this is saying that this tariq is so easy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it easy. Hazrat Sayyid Saab went to Rai Bareli, and Shah Abdul Rahim, in his khidmat, he actually handed him over to Hazrat Shah Abdul Qadir. Nevertheless, the incident and the waqia goes on to say that they made him stand in the sun, or they put him in the sun to carry out the wazifa that he was doing. But nevertheless, when the other came and he seen this, he said, "Why did you make him sit in the sun?" So again, here we come to all of this here, and we understand from all of it that there is no need for a person to undergo unnecessary difficulty. The object is not to sit in the sun. The object is not to drink hot water. Rather, the object is to do the work and whatever is necessary for you. You know, this is a fantastic kitab. Hazrat Wala goes on to say that Hazrat Tanvi went into the khidmat of Hazrat Haji Imdadullah rahimahullah. And at that time, he says, I went for my Islah. I am not deserving of this. But when Hazrat gave me this kitab and he said to me, Ashraf Ali, translate this kitab. It will be of great benefit to the masses. I actually took this on despite myself being unfit for this particular designated duty. Okay, we carry on. Thereafter, the author quotes ayat of the Quran Majid stating what he's actually trying to prove. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intends ease with you and not difficulty. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُخَفِّفَ عَنْكُمْ. Allah ta'ala intends to make it light for you, your burden. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. And then Allah ta'ala is stating the facts, that insan has been created weak. Therefore, the fuqaha even say that if a person makes a mannat, he takes an oath that I will walk to the Kaaba barefoot, I will go for Hajj barefoot, then it is not necessary for him to do this and undertake this journey of Hajj in this manner barefoot. Because in the Shariat, the objective is not that the servant of Allah tires himself. The express objective is not for a person to burn himself out and to do this to himself. And the Shariat has not come to stop a person from the ladhat and some type of privileges, etc. And why? And how? Kayfa? وَهِيَ مَخْلُوقَةٌ مِّنْ أَجْلِهِمْ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created these bounties for the banda himself, they are created for them, for insan. قال الربيع ibn Ziyad al-Harithi. Rabi ibn Ziyad al-Harithi says to Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an, assist me regarding my brother Asim. So Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an says to him, ma baluhu, what's the problem with him? He says, labis al-aba yuridun nusuk, that listen, he wears coarse clothing. So Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an said, alayya bihi, bring him to me at once. فَأَتَى بِهِ, مؤتزرا بعباءته مترديا بأخرى, and he was brought in the state that he was covered with one blanket, coarse clothing, and another one on top of him. شعث الراس واللحية, and his hair and his beard absolutely unkept, disheveled. فعبس في وجهه. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala frowned at him directly. وقال ويحك, woe be to you, أما استحييت من أهلك, are you not ashamed to stand like this in front of your wife? أما رحمت ولدك, do you not have any mercy on your children? أترى الله أباح لك الطيبات. What do you think? Do you think that Allah Ta'ala has made the wholesome things permissible for you, and then after that He dislikes you to take anything from there? وَهُوَ يَكْرَهُ أَن تَنَالَ مِنْهَا شَيْئًا. Do you think Allah has made it for you and then He doesn't want you to consume that? بَلْ أَنْتَ أَهْوَنْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. What are you actually trying to do? What's your maqsad? أَمَا سَمِعْتَ. Did you not hear what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking about the bounties? وَالْأَرْضَ وَضَعَهَا لِلْأَنَامِ فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. And then the ayats go on until it comes to the ayat يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان, speaking about the ocean and what can be taken out from it. Thereafter the author goes on to say أفترى الله أباح هذا لعباده ليبتدلوه ويحمد الله عليها. Do you not understand? Can you not even understand and digest this much? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made all this permissible for you so that you can consume it, use it, enjoy it, and thank Allah for it. Nevertheless, after reprimanding Asim so much, what does Asim say? قال Asim فما بالك. What's the problem with you? Addressing Ali radiallahu ta'ala an. في خشونة مأكلك وخشونة ملبسك. In your eating also this type of food, not the luxurious type, maybe hard bread, etc. And you also wearing this type of clothing. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala says to him, وَيْحَكْ, woe be to you, my brother. أن الله فرض على أئمة الحق أن يقدروا أنفسهم بضعفة الناس. Allah Ta'ala has made it compulsory for the leaders of the truth that they calculate themselves according to the weakest of people. And then Hazrat Tanvi rahimahullah ta'ala says, why all of this? So that the fuqara and the masakeen can feel comfortable and they can have sukoon when they look at the leaders and they can approach them despite their condition being that much. So after all of this, the author says, it has become open to you and clear to you from this dialogue of Ali radiallahu ta'ala an and the other individuals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lam yutalib al-ibad bi'adami tanawul al-maldhudat. Allah Ta'ala is not requesting from His servants that they do not go towards the luxuries and the comforts. وَإِنَّمَا طَالَبَهُمْ سُبْحَانَهُ بِالشُّكْرِ عَلَيْهَا إِذَا تَنَاوَلُوهَا. Rather, Allah Ta'ala demands from them that when they use it, when they consume it, then they should make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And thereafter, Shaykh Ibn Ata then quotes ayat in the Quran, of the Quran Majid to show this. Kulu mir rizqi rabbikum washkuru lah. Eat from the rizq of your Rabb and make shukr to Him. In another ayat, Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas, Ya ayyuhal ladina amanu, O people of Iman, Kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum washkuru lah. Eat from the wholesome things that we have granted you, we have given rizq to you, and washkuru lillah, make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In yet another ayat, Allah Ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhar rusul, kulu minat tayyibat wa'amalu saliha. O Anbiya, O the messengers, eat from the wholesome things and carry out good deeds. Thereafter, the author goes on to say, Falam yaqul, Allah Ta'ala did not say, La ta'kulu. Allah did not say, don't eat. Wa innama qala, kulu wa'malu. Allah Ta'ala said, eat but do work then. Carry out good deeds. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Wala says, I have a nukta on this particular topic where I take out that, listen here, Allah Ta'ala, the command is one. Allah Ta'ala is commanding the general masses to eat, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ, and thereafter they should not follow in the footsteps of shaitan. But Allah Ta'ala commands the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam to eat and then to do good deeds. Allah Ta'ala did not say that to the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam because they would not do that, but the common masses. But many a times it happens that we have the ni'mats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thereafter we disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala commands the Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam to do that, to eat from the wholesome, and then He gives them targheeb to do the good deeds. Allah Ta'ala commands us to eat the wholesome, but He tells us then, listen, you vulnerable, do not follow the footsteps of shaitan. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say, the shan of a mu'min is, he eats and then he makes shukr to Allah. But the matter of the kafir is such that he eats and then he defies Allah. He disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaykh Abdul Quddus Gangohi rahimahullah ta'ala says that it starts off with halal food. And when a person eats halal food, he would then have the tawfiq to do good deeds. And then he would quote the ayat of the Quran Majid in proving this. The ayat of the Quran Majid, which we just quoted now. Also the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is there. Allahumma inni as'aluka rizqan tayyiba wa ilman nafi'a wa amalan mutaqabbala. Oh Allah, I ask you for pure sustenance, beneficial knowledge, and accepted actions. Now look at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was mutakhalliq bi akhlaqillah. He followed so closely and he decorated and he adorned himself with the akhlaq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quoted those ayat of the Quran Majid, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam then begs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, you give me rizqan tayyiba and ilman nafi'a and amalan mutaqabbala. So these are the nikat and subtle points which Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to talk about. And look at the beautiful order of it. First we ask Allah for rizqan tayyiba, and thereafter if we have that, we will able to seek beneficial knowledge. When a person seeks beneficial knowledge, he would able to do actions in a good way, due to which it would be then accepted. Now let's make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah ta'ala gives us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal. Allah ta'ala protect us and our children in this time of fitnas and tribulations. Allah bless us with His perfect pleasure. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.